Hey, I'm Senj. Welcome to this new series that I'd like to do every month called What I've Been Listening To. This is the August edition. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about. This isn't stuff that came out in August particularly, some of it did. This isn't particularly albums or artists or songs, it's kind of a mix of anything. It's a little bit all over the place, it's kind of loose on the structure. Yeah, but honestly, I've been in a bit of a creative slump lately, and I don't know, you try and feed your creative juices into something else. So here we are, still talking about things I enjoy. It's bright, the sun's out, it's a little bit windy. It sounded like someone was pressure washing their car before, but I'm stoked to say that that's come to a halt. So let's jump right in. The first thing I wanted to tell you about was Tamino's new album. Not new to me. Came out 2022, it's called Sahar. Your fascination. Absolutely loved his first album, Amir. But Sahar's kind of a little bit different, If you like something a little bit Jeff Buckley, but it's got kind of an Arabian Egyptian twist, this will be right down your alley. It's sick, honestly. You got the lead single, Fascination, which is kind of an upbeat, groovy track. A lot of kind of textural percussion in there. What I really enjoy is that there's only a few tracks on there where percussion's actually used. So when the percussion does hit, it hits. And it's nice. It's soft and it's somber. And lyrically, it's a step up from Amir. Amir was kind of angsty, And while he still follows the same kind of Arabian scales, traditional Egyptian scales, I want to say. Yeah, this one's it's a little bit more upbeat and a little bit more honest and raw lyrically. And I was also getting a little bit of a Radiohead vibe, which I thought was really cool. And I was stoked to find out after I had that thought, I swear to God. Did some research into the album and found out that, what's his name, Colin Greenwood? This is why I got my phone on me, make sure I'm getting it right. Johnny Greenwood, look, I was right the first time. He played all the bass parts for this new album, so that kind of, definitely carries through if you're looking for something a little bit more edgy. Tamino definitely brings that to the table with this album. But yeah, the guitar works beautiful as always, beautiful finger picking, and when he breaks out into full chords, it's accompanied by a lot of orchestral kind of stuff. Yeah, overall beautiful album. I'm not doing any sort of ratings, but this would be up there for sure. Alright, artist 2. Degie.
I can be so selfish. I'm trying to be better, it's hard. I'm in my own head so much I can't help it.
I'm not really sure how to say it, but he's a rapper from Wales, I want to say. And he's got this just beautiful, thick Welsh accent. And, I mean, honestly, that's one of my favourite parts of his style. We're not talking particularly about any sort of track or album or anything like that, but I discovered him on social media through his latest song called Selfish. And just the way he blends kind of drill beats with really subby 808s, along with orchestral, instrumental, melodic kind of parts. The way he flows over the beat is just so raw. So I did a bit of a dive through the rest of his work because I just loved the blend of sounds that he was creating. His EP from 2021 is called Good Days and Bad Days. It's a little bit more trappy than his latest single, Selfish, but he still kind of has that real steady blend of melodic parts with a really relaxed kind of vocal. Yeah, and he's just slick with it, If you like him, you also might like an artist called Trellion. Trellion's got this great album called Lighthouse Tapes, I believe it's called. I'll chuck it up on the screen. It's just kind of got a bit of a grungy feel to it, which I hope, I'd love to see Degie go in more in that direction, with a bit more acoustic drums and that kind of thing. But yeah, that's Degie, and fantastic stuff, fantastic discovery. I'm really excited to see what else he comes out with. Next up on my list, we got probably one of my favourite finds of the last month. Maybe mid-July, actually. But this is the first edition, so I can kind of stretch the limits a little bit. I mean, This is my video, I make the rules, I can do what I'd like. But Persian Empire, and particularly their EP Post Empire. Just the percussion is so snappy, the grooves are so unique, the beat changes are really interesting. If you like Vegyn, it's kind of Vegyn but with more of a soulful feeling, you know, with real instruments. You've got chopped up pianos in there, but the percussion is where this EP really shines and where Persian Empire really comes through as an artist for me. It's just, you know, real short reverbs that are cut at the tail, kind of sounds that you only hear once within an 8 or 16 bar loop, and you're just fiending for that one little click again, you know. And the panning from left to right is sick. It's just happening all over, and you got little vocal chops in there too. Particularly for Persian Empire, some of my favourite tracks on the EP are Jugo, Charlie, but this EP came out in 2015, and I haven't really had a chance to do a further dive into the rest of the discography. But if you're looking for a new artist that's really quite unique, and you're not someone that craves vocals, you know, your classic verse chorus type structure, this is something really interesting, really cool. One of my favourite finds for sure. That brings us on to artist number 4, Joe Nora. I want to talk about his new album Puzzle Face, which did come out in August, the first one on this list to actually come out in August. Wow. I discovered Joe Nora when one of my favourite artists, Chester Watson, did a collab with him. It's called Treehouse, and it's on this new album. And Joe Nora's production is just really kind of lo-fi, really textural. All his sounds just feel incredibly wet. And that's what I like about it. It just fills your head, you know. It's kind of blending a lot of electronic sounds with acoustic drums and that kind of thing. He's got this track called Dunes, which I really like, which is a collaboration with Shrimpnose. And if you've heard my song Difference, yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. Joe Nora has been one of my biggest inspirations as of late. And yeah, this new album is no different, though it is a little bit different. Because he's, for the first time, I believe, he's using some of his own vocals, which is really cool. You can tell he's not a trained vocalist, but I do like that in an artist. It comes across as really raw, and I know I'm saying that word a lot, but particularly in the track Game On, it's almost like an early Dominic Fike kind of feel, you know. I keep having to stop talking when I see someone walk past because I'm so nervous, but I wanted to film out here because it's just it's a little bit calmer, you know, and the sun's out. You know, I really want this series to kind of be relaxed, just having a chat. If you like this conversational style of content, I guess, let me know, because there's a lot of things that I could have some conversations about, music and otherwise. But back to Joe Nora. Yeah, Game On. Real cool track. I love the blend of, again, this textural percussion that Joe Nora does so well with the nylon string guitars that kind of carry through the album. You know, a blend of a lot of electronic synthesizers and chopped up vocals and that kind of thing. And I keep hearing sounds from behind me and I'm like, is someone creeping up on me, or is that just a bird? And it's just a bird, so we're safe, we're good. Speaking of Joe Nora, he's got a collaboration with another artist who probably for the last year I've just been listening to, particularly in her collaborations with other artists, and her name is Ivri. She's got a collaboration with Joe Nora called Okay You Win, as well as one called In Vain, which I haven't heard before, but I'm listening to it right now, and it's calm. So let's talk about Ivri. The best part of Ivri's work is her vocals. By far, they're just so soothing, so delicate, so fragile. It just feels like I'm being sung to sleep. and I love that. And particularly in the kind of producers she works with, Nora being one of them. One artist she loves to work with, which is another one of my favourite producers, is tomcbumpz. They've got a song called Close Your Eyes. If you're looking for something a little bit edgier from Ivry, I'd recommend her newest EP. It's called The Star Factory. It's got more of a Bieber Doobie feel, which suits her vocals really well, and she's really unleashing in some of those tracks, which is really cool. It's really cool to see that she's got that impressive vocal range, you know. And my camera's flashing. Let me figure that out. Turns out it's not flashing for any particular reason. But yeah, a bit more of a Bieber Doobie feel. I like when an artist has range, you know, and Ivry has that. Though I do prefer her real calm, kind of lullaby type of stuff. So if you're looking for that, look at her collaborations with Nora and tomcbumpz, because they're incredible and probably some of my most streamed songs over the past year. Here comes a dog. Hello. Hey, buddy. That was a beautiful dog. Real shiny, clean coat. Beautiful chocolate colour. I wish I got a pat, but he just kind of ran straight past me, which is a bit of a shame. I'd love a dog one day. My family's got dogs, you know, and cats, but I miss them, you know. Anyway, this isn't a dog review video, though it could be. Maybe another time. But I got one more artist I want to talk about, and this one I've been thinking about doing an in-depth review of her album because it's just fantastic. Her name is Ayleen Valentine. I first discovered Ayleen Valentine through a little clip of a live performance she did for her song called Ask Nicely, and it's got this kind of cool shoegazy feel, or new gaze, if that's a real term, of the kind of return of shoegaze, which I love. You know, her vocals are just so smooth and so gentle over these heavy guitars, heavy drums, and some of the notes she hits are just incredible. And so I did a bit of a dig through her work and found that Ask Nicely was part of an album in May, not August, but it's called Little Rainbows After Death. It's got to be one of my favourite albums I've listened to in the past few months. You know, I thought maybe it'd all be kind of this guitar heavy shoegazy stuff, but there's just a lot of other stuff on there that, you know, kind of gives like a Sega Bodega vibe. But even, you know, some of her heavier tracks, she's kind of channeling artists like La Dispute or Nothing Nowhere with the way she screams over the guitars. But yeah, it's a versatile album. There's something in it for everyone, I think. One of my favourite tracks is Burn a Hole in the Yellow, where she kind of blends these real soft synth pads. She's kind of got a calm vocal delivery, but then later on in the track, you know, she's just going hard at it, and it's incredible. She uses electronic drum kits as well as real drum kits. She's got some fat bass sounds and, you know, some more tinny bass guitar sounds. I can't hype up this album enough. It's truly incredible. So, check it out. That's Ayleen Valentine's Little Rainbows After Death. Wow, so my memory card just died. Hopefully that was after the completion of my Ayleen Valentine Little Rainbows After Death review. Maybe I'll do a full review track by track, you know, because it's sick. That brings us to the end of the first edition of What I've Been Listening to, August. How do I think it went? Said the interviewer, and I say it went okay. It's a little bit scat and a little bit all over the place. But that's fine, that's kind of what I expected. If you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments or whatever, because I had a good time. It's a relaxing way to spend my morning, you know. And now I'll go home and edit it all together. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. See you next time.